Hey new anglers, Dave Brown here from Okuma Fishing Tackle. On today's episode of Tune Up Tuesday, we're going to talk about telling the difference between a spinning rod and a casting rod. Now, one of the questions I get quite a bit is, how do I tell if I have a spinning rod or a casting rod? I'm going to give you a couple of the tips to take a look at on your rod and make it a little easier for you to tell. The first one, and what usually seems like the most obvious, is going to be the model number of the rod. On the Okuma rods, there's going to be a 3-digit model number, then dash either an S or a C. This happens to be an SST salmon steelhead trout rod, and the model number is SST-S-702ML. What that means is it's a SST-S for spinning, 7-foot, 2-piece, medium light rod. So that S that's right in the middle signifies the spinning rod. On this EVX rod, the model number is EVX-C-721 heavy. So that one has a -C signifying the casting version. Now, another easy way to tell, maybe your model number's worn off, you have an older rod, or maybe you have a competitor rod, but an easy way to tell is going to be the first guide, actually all the guides, but the first one's going to be your main one. On a spinning rod, you have a very large circular guide. On a casting rod, you actually have a very small guide. Now what this is, on a spinning rod, you're actually going to have your spinning reel mounted down below the rod. When the line comes off of that reel, it comes off in very large spirals when you cast. And that large guide, that first guide, that actually knocks the line down and makes it cast a lot smoother. On a bait cast rod, your bait cast reel sits right on the top, and that line shoots straight from the reel right into that first guide. So you don't need that large stripper guide that spinning rod has. Very simple, so that's going to be an easy way to tell. Another way to tell what rod you have might be the handle. They're all going to be a little bit different. This EVX happens to have a trigger reel seat. You'll see that a lot on the bait cast style or the casting style rods. Whether it's a big round reel for your offshore or for your bass style rod, that trigger is an easy way to tell that you have a casting rod. On the spinning rod, you won't find that trigger, but you're going to find more of just a straight pipe style reel seat. That's going to be one of the other easy ways to tell what you have there. So as I mentioned, on that spinning rod, you're going to have your spinning reel and you're going to fish it down below. Your guides will generally have a single foot guide all the way up to the top there. Now you fish the reel down below the rod, and these are going to support all of the weight of your line. When you're fishing and you're locked into a nice large fish, that line goes from guide to guide, and it's supported and built strictly for that. That line will pull down on that blank and use the full support of that rod blank. So you want to fish that reel down below, and these guides are nice and large, and that keeps those big knots in the line from coming out from your reel, and keep it going nice and straight there. On the bait cast rod, you're gonna have your bait cast reel on the top like we talked about. When you cast, that line's gonna go up and out those guides. And when you're fighting that, you're gonna use also the support of the blank. I hope that helps you tell the difference between a spinning rod and a casting rod. For more tips, tricks, and techniques, make sure you visit okumafishingusa.com.